Good afternoon, students. Welcome to the Success at CA exam session 2 for intermediate paper 3 section B goods and services tax. So, in the first Success at CA exam, I have
Good afternoon, students.
Welcome to the Success publications which are relevant for your examination, how to prepare for the examination, what all are the important points which you need to bear in mind while preparing for this paper. And along with those key points, and we had also discussed the questions of revision test paper with you. So if any student has any doubt relating to the preparation preparation strategies which we have discussed in the previous session, you may ask us. Any doubt, any student? So I hope that all the preparation strategies are clear to you. And now we will discuss the case scenario. Basically, we get a lot of queries from students that, ma'am, how to answer the case scenario, how to arrive at the case scenario, how to, correctly understand the case scenario during examination and arrive at the correct answer. As you know that in a case scenario based MCQ, you just have to write the correct answer. You need not give the reasoning for the same. You need not give reasoning in the examination. You just have to write the answer A, B, C, O, D. And basically no reasoning is expected from you. So it helps you in saving a lot of time when you answer the division A multiple choice question based division. So students ask query, ma'am, because since in mock test paper also there is no reasoning, so students ask, ma'am, how the particular answer is arrived or how to approach the case scenarios during examination, how to read them, how to interpret them, how to solve the questions, and how to arrive at the correct answer. So we have decided that in this section, success at CA examination, we shall take up the case scenarios and the application-based multiple choice questions so that you have a fair idea at how to go through, how to solve the MCQ based questions, which basically one thing which is clear that you need to be aware of is that in case of multiple choice question, there will be only application based case scenarios. Few questions will be few multiple choice questions shall arise from the case scenario. That is, one integrated case scenario will be there. When we say integrated, it means that case scenario will comprise of more than two or more topics. Then one or two independent multiples MCQ will also be there in the examination, but that independent MCQ, that will not be the straight theory based or comprehension and knowledge based MCQ. It will be basically the application based multiple choice questions. So it shows that you should be clear in your concepts. Your conceptual clarity is very important. If your concepts are clear, if your fundamentals are strong, then only you will be able to understand the provisions, apply them correctly, and come at the right conclusion. So let's go through the case scenario. And before that, any doubt, any student, you may ask me. So let us go through the case scenario. So this is, we have taken the MTP2 for September 2025 examination. GST paper 50 marks, you are well aware of. And the applicable position for this September 2025 examination is that all questions should be answered on the basis of provisions of CGST Act 2017 and the IGST Act 2017 as amended by the Finance Number 2 Act 2024, including significant notifications and circulars issued and other legislative amendments which have become effective up to 28th of Feb 2025. So as we know that the cutoff date is basically 6 months prior to the date of examination. So for September 2025 examination, the cutoff date is 28th of Feb 2025. So in case there is any change in the position of law, if during this period any position of law was changed multiple times, then you need to be keep in mind that you have to answer the questions as per the latest position of law existing on 28th of February 2025. So this is the cutoff date. If there was any other position of law prior to 28th of Feb, you have to ignore that. You have to answer as per the latest position as applicable on the cutoff date, that is 28th of Feb 2025. So all the amendments in 28th of Feb 2025 are applicable for you. They are already compiled and web hosted as statutory update. So let us go through the case scenario. Case scenario, I am reading the case scenario and simultaneously I will highlight the key points which you need to keep in mind, how to read it, how to interpret it, and then we will look at the questions which are asked in the exam, which are asked, and then we will answer them. Case scenario 1, Ready and Ready Associates, a partnership firm registered under GST. So this is a partnership firm, Ready and Ready Associates. It is a partnership firm and it is registered under GST. Is engaged in various types of business activities. It has provided the details of the following activities undertaken by it in the current financial year. It supplied taxable goods to Suryan Enterprises valuing rupees 8 lakh in the month of April with a credit period of 1 month for payment. When we say that Ready and Ready Associates, ये एक पार्टनरशिप फर्म है, उसने सूर्यन एसोसिएट्स एंटरप्राइजेस को सप्लाई किए हैं गुड्स in the month of April with a credit period of 1 month. So what do we mean when we say that with a credit period of 1 month? That means you are allowed to pay within 1 month. So 1 month credit is allowed. You can pay within 1 month. No penalty, anything will be imposed to you if you will pay within, let's say, 25 days, within 25 days of making the supply, 20 days. So 1 month credit period is allowed to you. Thereafter, interest at the rate of 12% per annum is chargeable on the consideration. The payment is received from Surya Enterprises after the lapse of 2 months from the date of supply. So what we should carefully note is that 1 month is the credit period which is allowed to us and payment has been received after the lapse of 2 months from the date of supply. Now let's come to the second point. It enters into a contract for supply of 100 of its shares at the rate of 15,000 with Veermart on 21st of August. Shares are removed from the warehouse of Ready and Ready Associates on 5th of September along with the invoice of said date. Veermart has paid 30% of the total contract value on 21st August and 70% is paid after delivery of shares on 10th September. So here there is a supply of goods and has been a receipt of advance as well. So it may happen the time of supply may be tested. It seems, by looking at the information given in the case scenario. Then third point is in the month of October, it provided services by way of transportation of goods in a goods carriage by road to Fisheries Department of Government of India, which is registered under GST only for the purpose of deducting tax at source. Ready and Ready Associates is a registered GTA and charges 1,20,000 for the said services. So what the point we need to note here is that in this case, service has been provided by way of transportation of goods, right? And Ready and Ready Associates is a registered GTA. So services of transportation of goods provided by GTA. This is a category of service which has been explained here. Then in the fourth point, it also provided services of direct selling agent to an NBFC located in Mumbai in the month of December for rupees 50,000. DSA direct selling agent की services provide की है उसने NBFC को, right? So these are the basically all the category of services provided, outward services which has been provided. Fifth point. it organized a business exhibition in the month of December, for which it received a sponsorship fee of rupees 3 lakh from Kiran Limited. Now, students, we generally, get a lot of queries from students that they don't understand in case of sponsorship service, whether it has been provided, whether it has been received. They are unable to identify the provider, supplier, and the recipient of sponsorship service. So I'm giving you 2 minutes. You also please participate in the session and let me know who is the supplier of sponsorship service in this case. Who is the service provider for sponsorship service? Please give me quick answers. Please let me know who is the supplier for sponsorship survey. See, there is a basic principle that anybody, please understand it very carefully. All your doubts will be resolved. What happens is that in the normal parlance, whosoever has received something, if I have received some money, that means I am the provider of service. Who will receive the consideration? I will receive the consideration. I will receive the fees. If I have supplied some service, some goods, only then somebody else will pay to me, right? And in this case, it is given that it received a sponsorship fee from Kiran Limited. So Ready and Ready Associates has received the sponsorship fee. Ready and Ready Associates has received the sponsorship fees, means it has provided the service. So the sponsorship service provider is Ready and Ready Associates, and who is the recipient in this case? Recipient is Kiran Limited. It has a policy to provide free gifts to each of its employees valuing rupees 50,000 at the end of each financial year. Then it availed services of Pratham Travel Agency for organizing a free vacation for its top performing employees in the month of December. GST of rupees 50,000 was paid for the same. In the same month, it also paid GST of rupees 20,000 on membership of Tejas Fitness Center taken for its CEO. All the above amounts are exclusive of GST. This is important information. Sometimes it happens that few amount is inclusive of GST. Then while calculation, you have to do like 18 by 118, right? Something if the rate is 18%. So here all the amounts are exclusive of GST. All conditions for availing ITC are fulfilled, subject to the information given above. Based on the facts of the case scenario given above, choose the most appropriate answer to question number 1 to 5. So question number 1. Value of supply made to Suryan Enterprises, assuming the interest on delayed payment to be exclusive of GST, is dash. Let's make this session interactive, and we all will learn. If we will interact, we will understand where we have committed mistake, why this answer is the correct answer, right? We understand the provisions better when we interact and participate. A option rupees 8 lakh, B rupees 8 lakh 8,000, C rupees 7 lakh 92, and D is 8 lakh 16,000. Now we have gone through the case scenario well. We have understood the concepts, key provisions. Now let's answer it. Then we will discuss each and every questions and answer with you. So let's interact. I am waiting for the answers. You may please mention your answer in the query box, query link. Take your time and give the correct answer. Astha, can I expect answer from you? We have read the case scenario. Astha Sethi, what is the correct answer as per your understanding? Value of supply made to Suryan Enterprises, assuming the interest on delayed payment to be exclusive of GST. So we have to look again at the information, relevant information. Once we read the case scenario, you have to very quickly go through the facts of the case scenario, then read the question given thereunder, and again visit to the relevant facts which apply to the information which has been sought in the question relating to the case scenario. So let's move to the facts. Value of supply. So what is the value? It supplied goods to Suryan Enterprises valuing rupees 8 lakh. 8 lakh rupees के गुड सप्लाई किए गए हैं. हमने इसके ऊपर काफी एम्फेसाइज किया था दैट क्रेडिट पीरियड इज अलाउड फॉर 1 मंथ फॉर पेमेंट. सो इसका मतलब है कि 1 मंथ तक तो अगर आप कभी भी विद इन 1 मंथ आप कभी भी अगर अमाउंट पे करते हैं, कंसिडरेशन देते हैं, तो कोई भी इंटरेस्ट पेनल्टी आपके ऊपर नहीं लगेगी. So interest at the rate of 12% per annum is chargeable on the consideration. On payment कब receive हुई है हमें? Payment has been received after the lapse of 2 months from the date of supply. अब 2 months में there are two things that one month credit period तो आपको पहले से ही allowed था. So delay कितना हुआ है? Delay is only of 1 month. Good afternoon, Mr. Vinay. For your knowledge, we are going through the case scenarios for MTP2. Lot of students asked us the query, ma'am, how to go through the case scenario, how to arrive at the correct answer in the case scenario. So we just have gone through the facts of the case scenario and asked question number 1, and we want all the students to interact with us. So you may also answer your give answer to the question 1 of case scenario 1 in the query link so that we can discuss. Question 1 was pertaining to the value of supply and credit period of he has paid after the lapse of 2 months and 1 month credit period was allowed. Interest at the rate of 12% per annum is chargeable. So for 1 month, interest will be charged at the rate of 1%, 12 months 12% per annum is there. So 8 lakh rupees multiplied by 12% per annum, and interest will be charged only for 1 month because credit period of 1 month is allowed, right? So interest comes to rupees 8,000. So the value of supply made to Suryan Enterprises, assuming the interest on delayed payment to be exclusive of GST, is rupees 8 lakh plus 8,000. So the correct answer is option B, rupees 8 lakh 8,000. Now let's move to the next question. Very good, Asta, 8 lakh 8,000. And I request all other students as well to participate. Question number 2, the time of supply of advance payment. See, when we were going through the facts of the case scenario, I told you that the facts as given in the case scenario, it seems that the question is there on the time of supply. So the time of supply of advance money of rupees 4,50,000 received for supply of office shares to Veer Mart is dash. For balance payment of rupees 10,50,000 received, the time of supply is dash. So the time of supply of office shares, So you have to give the time of supply of goods. So you may refer section 12 of CGSTI 2017. Give your answer. Let's look at the relevant provisions. Point number 2 caters to the question information given in question number 2. It enters into a contract for supply of 10 office share, 100 office shares at the rate of 15,000 with Veer Mart on 21st August. Shares are removed from warehouse of Ready and Ready Association on 5th September along with invoice of said date. Veer Mart has paid 30% of total contract value on 21st August and 70% after delivery of share on 10th September. So when we talk about the time of supply of goods, then section 12 of CGST 2017 comes into pictures. It says that taxpayers under forward charge except composition suppliers and registered persons making supply of specified actionable claims. They are not required to pay GST. They are not required to pay GST. Please note, they are not required to pay GST at the time of receipt of advance in relation to supply of goods. So entire GST becomes payable only when the invoice for the supply of such goods is issued or ought to have been issued. Thus, time of supply of goods for the purpose of payment of tax is the date of issue of invoice or the last date when invoice ought to have been issued under section 31. And what is the last date when the invoice is required to have been issued? It is the date of removal of goods. And although here invoice has already been issued and invoice is issued on 5th September, right? So, Asta, you have given 5th September is the correct answer. So what do you feel for advance payment and for the balance payment? Whether for both the type of payment 5th September is the answer or for balance payment 10th September is the answer. Here is a catch. I have explained the provisions. The correct option is option D for both, for advance payment as well as for the balance payment of rupees 10 lakh 50,000. Very good, Asta. The time of supply is 5th September. For both the payments for advance as well as for balance payment, time of supply is 5th September because invoice has been issued on that date. Please note that in case of time of supply of goods, date on which advance is received is not relevant. Date on which invoice is issued, that is important, right? Now, let's read the question number 3. Determine the value of outward supplies made by Reddy and Reddy Associates on which tax is payable under reverse charge. This is a very interesting question, and you will your all the provisions relating to reverse charge will be revised if you will answer this question correctly. So you may go through the facts of the case scenario. Value of outward supplies made by Reddy and Reddy Associates on which tax is payable under reverse charge. See, point 1 information has already been used, point 2 has been used. Now you may look at the remaining all the information given in the case scenario. Please don't think that only point 3 will be relevant. You have to read this case scenario in an integrated manner. It might happen that first part information is used and the last part information is used for answering a particular question. So never think that only question, information will be given part wise. It may be given part wise or it may not be given part wise. So go through the provisions and I'm waiting for the answers. You may take your time. Okay. I hope that you have taken time and Asa is having a query that in case of services time of supply in RCM, where recipient has to issue invoice, and within 30 days he has to issue even if he's bank or other financial institution. Good question. See, in case of time of supply, in case of services, Section 13 is applicable, and it says what happens is that in general, banks and financial institutions, they have the time limit to issue invoice within 45 days. Now, but you are talking about the time when bank or financial institution RCM is applicable. See, Asa, in case of banks or other financial institution, you are saying within 30, he has to issue even if he is bank or financial institution. Just give me 1 minute. Let me quote you the provision of law. See, time of supply where tax is payable under reverse charge. It says that in case of services, earliest of following date of payment as entered in books of accounts of recipient, or the date on which payment is debited from bank account, whichever is earlier, or 61st day from the date of issue of invoice by the supplier. And in case of banks and financial institution, the time limit is 45 days in case of supply of services as per section 31(2). Okay, so we have ample time. So now let's answer the question number 3. Here, please note that Sarabhai, this Ready and Ready Associates, it is a partnership firm. So now the services which we have provided is one is the DSA services. It provided a services of direct selling agent to a NBFC located in Mumbai in the month of December for rupees 50,000. Now, what happens is that we generally memorize the category of services on which tax is payable under RCM. As soon as we will read the direct selling agent, what we will think is that yes, RCM is applicable in case of DSA services. But please note that the commonly committed error, this is the point where students generally commonly commit error, that you have to identify the provider, service supplier and the recipient very carefully to analyze both of them carefully whether the RCM provisions will be applicable or not. Because in case of DSA services, reverse charge provisions comes into picture only if it is provided by individual direct selling agent. And here Ready and Ready Associates is a partnership firm. So reverse charge provisions will not apply in case of direct selling agent. Then coming to the another service, it organized a business exhibition in the month of December for which it received a sponsorship fee of rupees 3 lakh from Kiran Limited. Now, what happens that in case of sponsorship service, reverse charge is applicable? Yes, it is applicable. When it is applicable, provider can be any person. Provider can be whether it is a body corporate, partnership, individual, it can be any person. But recipient should be either body corporate or partnership firm, right? So sponsorship for here, service supplier is Ready and Ready Associates. It is a partnership firm and it has been provided to Kiran Limited. So the recipient is a body corporate. So sponsorship services are liable to GST under reverse charge as they are provided to a body corporate. And so these are the service and then more service. This third point which we miss is in the month of October, it provided the services by way of transportation of goods in a goods carriage by road to Fisheries Department of Government of India, which is registered under GST only for the purpose of deducting tax at source. Ready and Ready Associates is a registered GTA and charges rupees 1,20,000 for the said services. Can anybody tell me what is the treatment for this activity number third point? Can anybody tell me the correct treatment of third point? Any student waiting for your reply? This is a good point. So, Astha and the other, Vatsal was there. May I know the correct treatment? Okay. So it means you have not understood, you have not gone through these provisions till now, because I'm not getting answer for this third activity. See, in this case, the services of goods transport to Fisheries Department of Government of India are not liable to GST under reverse charge. Why they are not liable to GST? Because services provided by GTA by way of transportation of goods in a goods carriage to governmental agencies which has taken registration only for the purpose of deducting tax at source and not for making taxable supply of goods or services, they are exempt. They are exempt wide entry number 21B of exemption notification number 12 by 17 CTR dated 28/6/2017. See, I am quoting you this entry number, but you need not remember, you need not memorize the entry number. Entry number is not expected from you in the examination. I am quoting this entry number so that you can correlate. When you will refer the study material, you can just, search this entry 21B and then you will directly find this entry and you can understand that yes, this entry, this particular activity has been exempted from GST wide entry 21B of exemption notification number 12 by 70 CTR dated 28 June 2017. Right. So in this case, what we have seen is that DSA services not liable to reverse charge. Why? Because it has not been provided by individual DSA. Sponsorship service is liable to GST, and this transportation of goods services by GT, it is exempt. So the applicability of RCM does not arise at all. So the correct answer is option number D, rupees 3 lakh. Now, let's move to the next question. Yes, Asta, give me some time. We will take up this query in the end because as now we are going to the case scenario. So this time of supply, we will I will again thoroughly go you through this query in the last. Free gift of value of rupees 50,000 provided by Reddy and Reddy Associates to each of its employees a supply as gifts of only less than rupees 50,000 in value are not treated as supply in terms of Schedule 1 of the CGST Act 2017. Option B, supply as gifts provided by employer to employee of any value are treated as supply in terms of Schedule 1 of the CGST Act 2017. Option C, a supply as gifts of only more than rupees 50,000 in value are not treated as supply in terms of Schedule 1 of the CGST Act 2017. And option D is not a supply as gifts not exceeding rupees 50,000 in value in a financial year by an employer to an employee shall not be treated as supply in terms of Schedule 1 of the CGST Act 20. Yes, the answers, the options given in these questions are a little bit confusing. They are far more similar to each other. So it shows that you need to, very carefully go through the provisions, then only you will be able to answer it correctly. Yes, sir. Your query is that in case of services, time of supply in RCM, where recipient has to issue invoice and within 30 days he has to issue even if he is bank or financial institution. So the amendment made in section 13(3) comes into picture. It has been amended to provide for time of supply of services where invoice is required to be issued by recipient of services in case of reverse charge. And what does section 13(3) says? It says that in case of supplies in recipient, in respect of which tax is paid or liable to be paid by reverse charge basis, to time of supply will be earliest of the following dates: date of payment as entered in the books of accounts of the recipient, or the date on which payment is debited from his bank account, whichever is earlier, or the date immediately following 60 days from the date of issue of invoice or any document by the supplier. So 61st day is for the supplier, where invoice is required to be issued by the supplier. And where invoice is required to be issued by the recipient, it is given the date of issue of invoice by the recipient. In case where invoice is required to be issued by recipient. So 30 days is not given here, right? It is not given that 30 days in case where invoice is required to be issued by. So whatever time limit is applicable for issuance of invoice for recipient, that shall apply. It is not specifically given in section 13(3)(c), the 30 days for time of supply by recipient. So whatever is the time frame, time limit given for the recipient, that shall apply, right? So I hope that your query is clear. Now let's understand the answer of question number 4. So question number 4, what does it say? It says that in this case, option D is the correct answer. Now, please tell me why option D is the correct answer. Can I have the reason, please? Option D is a correct answer, which says that not a supply as gifts not exceeding rupees 50,000 in value in a financial year by an employer to employee shall not be treated as supply in terms of Schedule 1 of the CGST. Here, what is the amount of free gift? Amount of free gift is value of rupees 50,000. See, what does Schedule 1 Para 2 says? It says activities or transactions which shall be treated as supply even if made without consideration, and supply of goods or services or both between related persons or between distinct persons as specified in section 25 when made in the course of furtherance of business One proviso is there which says that provided that gifts not exceeding 50,000 rupees in value in a financial year by an employer to employee shall not be treated as supply of goods or services or both. And here gift is of value of rupees 50,000, so it will not be treated as supply. Let's move to the question number 5. This is the last question of the case scenario. Ready and Ready Associates is eligible to claim input tax credit of dash in the month of December. Option A 50,000, B 20,000, C 3,70,000, and D is nil. Let's look at the relevant information. Point number 6 has already been taken off in question number 4. Then point 7 says, it avails services of Pratham Travel Agency for organizing a free vacation for its top performing employees in the month of December. GST of rupees 50,000 was paid for the same. In the same month, it also paid GST of rupees 20,000 on membership of Tejas Fitness Center taken for its CEO. So I'm giving you a hint. Section 17, subsection 5 of the CGST Act 2017 has been attracted. May I also got the reasons for the answer given by you? So students, please also mention a brief reason along with the answer which has been shared by you. Waiting for the brief reason so that I'm able to understand that you are not giving answer just merely by a guesswork. You know the provisions correctly. You have understood them. A brief reason. So, as I have given you the hint, the section 17, subsection 5, section 17.5 of the CGST Act 2017 we shall apply in this case. So what does it say? It says that input tax credit shall not be available in respect of the following name. Now, what does it say? Section 17, subsection 5. It says the clause I, food and beverages, outdoor catering services, cosmetics, plastic surgery, of these type of activities, except when used for like life insurance, health insurance, provided that one provision is there that ITC in respect of services or goods shall be available when these are used for making outward or taxable supply, same category of outward supply. And second thing is that membership of a club, health benefits is allowed, travel benefits extended to employees on vacation or home travel concession is allowed only when ITC in respect of such goods or both shall be available only when where it is obligatory for the employer to provide the same to his employees under any law for the time being in force. Right. So here in this case, free vacation as well as membership of Tejas Fitness Center would have been allowed as it is obligatory, no statutory required to give to employees. So our answer is D. Mr. Venugopal, you also please participate. So here is the next question. Now, by this we have completed our case scenario and all the 5 questions which are based on the case scenario. I hope you have understood how to read the case scenario, how to first of all give a quick glance to the case scenario, then move to the questions, and when you read the question, go back to the relevant extract of the information which shall apply in the answering that question, right? Then one thing that you don't have to write the reasoning in the examination, so this way you will definitely save time in the exams. But please use the provisions correctly, analyze them correctly, and arrive at the correct answer so as to score good marks. Coming to the question number 6. Mr. Sameer from Cochin, Kerala, and Mr. Varun of Bangalore, Karnataka, visit Delhi to provide soft skill training to the employees of a limited company. The training was conducted in a hotel in Delhi, and employees who also traveled to Delhi to attend the training. The limited company is registered under GST in Mumbai, Maharashtra. What would be the place of supply of this training? A. Cochin and Bangalore. B. Mumbai. C. Delhi. Or D. Cochin. Give me correct answer with a brief reasoning. Why see I am quoting the section number or the notification number or the entry number, but you need not memorize the same. It is always better not to quote than to misquote the relevant section number or the entry number. Entry number of the any entry number of exemption notification number 12 by 17 CTR dated 28/6/17 is not expected from you in the examination. I am quoting you. So which section applies in case of answering to question number 6? Please let me know. Mr. Venugopal, Asta Sethi, Vatsal, please answer. In this question, see, generally where students commit mistake, where they largely large number of students where they commonly commit mistake is that whenever they see that training is provided, they feel that the place where training is provided, it will be the place of supply. But that is not the correct position of law. See, one important thing I would like to key point where I need to focus upon here is that please note that the provisions of pertaining to place of supply, they are governed by the IGST Act 2017. Provisions of place of supply, they are not governed by the CGST Act 2017. So in case you tend to answer the questions in the examination relating to place of supply, please mention the correct act, else your entire answer will get wrong, right? It might be striked by the examiner because the provisions of place of supply are governed by the IGST Act 2017, not the CGST Act 2017. And section 12 is applicable at intermediate level where the location of supplier and recipient both are in India. So section 12(5) of the IGST Act 2017 is applicable here. And the correct answer is that the place of supply is Mumbai. Why Mumbai? Although the training has been conducted at a hotel in Delhi and employees also travel to Delhi to attend the training, then why place of supply is Mumbai? Please tell me. Please students, all of you, if you will participate in a large number, your conceptual clarity will enhance. It will lead to strengthen your concepts. So please participate. It might be your answer may be wrong, but don't worry about it. You still have got time for the examination. So even though the training has been conducted at a hotel in Delhi and employees have traveled to Delhi to attend the training, but the place of supply in this case is Mumbai. That is the correct answer because recipient is registered. Very good. This is a small nitty gritties which you need to keep in mind. What does section 12 subsection 5 of IGST 2017 says? It says that the place of supply of services in relation to training and performance appraisal to a registered person is the location of such person, right? And into a person other than a registered person shall be the place where the services are actually performed. And here, services, this training and performance appraisal services has been provided to a limited company. Mr. Sameer and Varun of Bangalore, Karnataka has visited Delhi to provide soft skill training to employees of a limited company. So who is the recipient? Recipient is a limited company and the limited company is registered under GST in Mumbai, Maharashtra. So the recipient is a registered person. In case the recipient is a registered person, so the place of supply is the location of such person. रजिस्टर्ड पर्सन को हम शॉर्ट फॉर्म में LOR लोकेशन ऑफ रजिस्टर्ड पर्सन को समटाइम्स टू मेमोराइज you can recall it like LOR, right? So if services has been provided to a registered person, then place of supply is LOR, location of that registered person. If it is provided to a person other than a registered person, then the place where services are actually performed, that is they are provided in Delhi. If it would have been provided to anybody who are not registered, like who are not registered company, then the place of supply would be Delhi. But in this case, the place of supply is Mumbai because the training and performance appraisal services has been provided to a limited company and who is registered in Mumbai and Maharashtra. Mumbai, Maharashtra. So let's move to the next MCQ. Mr. Dev, a jeweler registered under GST in Mumbai, wants to sell his jewelry in a trade expo held in Delhi. Which of the following statements is false in this case? Option A, he needs to get registration in Delhi as casual taxable person. Option B, he needs to pay advance tax on estimated tax liability. Option C, he needs to mandatorily have a place of business in Delhi. And option D, he needs to file GSTR 1 or IFF and GSTR 3B for Delhi GSTIN for the month or quarter as the case may be by when he gets registered in Delhi. Now, the important point to note here is that, see Khushi, we also expect answers from you for this MCQ. So please participate. All those students who are participating, they are learning. So all those students who are participating, their concepts will get strengthened. So I don't want any student to, miss this opportunity. Please participate. Even though your answer is wrong, that doesn't matter, right? So one important point, when you read the question, I request all of you, please read it carefully. Here, the catch is that in the question, the requirement is which of the following statement is false in this case. What happened is that in the examination scenario, when we read the question, we read with the preconceived concepts, preconceived information in our mind. We just read what we see. Yes, it is a case of casual taxable person, and the information must be which of the following statements is true. Yes, we know all these three items. So whatever seems correct to us, we will mark it. But no, this is not the case. You have to read the question very carefully. What is the requirement of the question? Here it says which of the following statement is false in this case. Right? So take your time and I want answer from all of you. Which of the following statement is false? See, we have understood that Mr. Dev is a jeweler registered in GST in Mumbai. So Mr. Dev is registered in Mumbai and he wants to sell his jewelry in a trade expo held in Delhi. So he is not a regular, registered in Delhi. He wants to sell his jewelry in a trade expo. So it is a case of a casual taxable person, right? And it is also given in the information also in the options also. So option A, he needs to get registration in Delhi as casual taxable person. Yes, this is the correct answer. He has to take a registration in Delhi as CT, casual taxable person. He wants to sell his jewelry at the trade expo. Then he needs to pay advance tax on estimated tax liability. Yes, this is also a requirement under law, under GST law, that you have to pay advance tax on the estimated tax liability, right? Option C, he needs to mandatorily have a place of business in Delhi. This is wrong because if you are a casual taxable person, then how can you have a mandatorily place of business in Delhi? You don't have a place of business in Delhi. That's why you are taking registration in Delhi as a casual taxable person. So option C is the false statement. Option D, he needs to file GSTR 1 and 3B for the month or quarter as the case may be when he gets registered in Delhi. आपको रिटर्न फाइल करनी है बट वो तभी करनी है जब आप रजिस्टर हो जाओगे दिल्ली, ठीक है? सो ऑप्शन सी इज द फॉल्स स्टेटमेंट. He needs to mandatorily have a place of business in Delhi. Now coming to the last multiple choice question of this mock test paper series 2. While filing return for the month of November, very good, Khushi, your answer is correct. Option C, since facility of casual taxable person is for persons who don't have a place of business in other states. Yes, this is the reason, this is the principle behind the behind this casual taxable person, that you don't have a place of business in other states. That's why you have to pay tax on the estimated tax liability and you have to register as a casual taxable. Very good. So last MCQ of this paper, while filing return for the month of November, a firm, Kiran and Company, registered under GST, generated e-challan on 5th December for making payment of GST through RTGS of their bank. Determine the validity of e-challan generated by Kiran and Company for payment of taxes for the month of November. Option A, 5th December, B, 15th December, C, 20th December, and D is 31st December. Arsha Sethi has already given the reply. All other students, you also give the reply. Then we will understand the correct answer. See, the correct answer in this case is yes, given by many of you. Let's see the answer given by Khushi Gupta. She has given 20th December. Good, Khushi. Your answer is correct. Option C is the correct answer because the validity period of each challan is 15 days. And in our case, Kiran and Company, who is registered under GST, had generated each challan on 5th of December. So from 5th of December, this e-challan is valid for 15 days. So the validity of e-challan generated by Kiran and Company for payment of taxes for the month of November is 20th of December. 15 days from 5th of December. So the correct answer is C, 20th December. So I hope students that all of you have understood the concepts at least which are involved in answering these multiple choice questions. You have understood how to approach an integrated case scenario, how to arrive at the correct answer, how to identify the relevant information. Again, I am highlighting the key points that you don't have to answer the reasoning, you don't have to give the reasoning for the case scenarios. Another thing is that you just give a quick glance to the case scenario and then move to the questions. And when you move to the questions and then again go back to the relevant information, please note that this is an integrated case scenario. It is not mandatory that a right answer will be picked from each and every separate paragraph. It may or it may not happen. This is an integrated case scenario. It might happen that one information for answering a particular question, one information is given in the first point and another information is given in the fourth point. So you have to read the case scenario in an integrated, right? So before we move to the another question, let's take a 2 minutes break.
Tech support. Tech support. Start the session. Okay. Welcome back, students. So welcome to this session of Success at CA exam. Before the break, Swati was there with you and you had discussed the case scenario based MCQs as well as the other small scenario based MCQs in mock test paper series 2. Now, from the scenario, you have to apply the provisions and arrive at the correct answer. So now we'll start mock test. What students generally find it difficult as they are not able to get the, they feel that they don't have the explanation for that, just only the final answers are there. And that is why we thought that we should first of all discuss the case scenarios and then you can discuss the other, we can discuss the other queries. In fact, one of the queries which I was seeing, just a minute, light issue is there. Okay. One of the queries which someone Astha has asked is that in case of services where in which are taxed under reverse charge mechanism and recipient has to issue the invoice. This is an amendment, Astha, which you are asking under section 13.3 and which requires the recipient to issue the invoice. Recipient has to issue the invoice in that case. Then what would be the time of supply in case, first of all, you want to know the time limit for issuance of invoice in case the recipient is a bank or other financial institution. Now look, Astha, this section, this amendment which has taken place in section 13.3, then a corresponding amendment has also taken place in section 31. Let me take you to that section. Hope my screen is visible to you all. Okay. See. So under section 31(3)(f), it has been specifically mentioned that a registered person who is liable to pay tax under section 9(3) shall, within the time limit as may be prescribed, issue an invoice in respect of goods or services or both received by him from the supplier who is not registered on the date of receipt of goods. So you know that the invoice under section 13, when we say 13 under 13(3), recipient has to issue the invoice. So recipient has to issue the invoice only in case where service is notified under section 9(3) or 9(4) and recipient and supplier is unregistered, so recipient has to issue the invoice. Now, time limit for the recipient to issue the invoice has been, they have mentioned that it is the time limit which has been specified, which has been prescribed. Now, this time limit has been prescribed under section 47A. This is an amendment, and I want to make it clear to you. This amendment says that notwithstanding anything contained in Rule 47, so all the provisions of Rule 47 have been overridden, where an invoice issued under Rule 46 is required to be issued under section 33F. We have just seen that 33F refers to a case where recipient has to issue the invoice because supplier is unregistered. Now, in your case, you are saying that the recipient is a bank or a financial institution. That is what, Astha, you want to ask, I suppose. So, in that case, where the invoice is required to be issued by a registered person under section 33F, that means recipient has to issue the invoice, who is liable to pay tax under section 9(3) or 9(4), that is the reverse charge mechanism, he shall issue the invoice within a period of 30 days from the receipt of said supply of goods or services. So for banking sector, there is no separate time limit which has been prescribed. And this, I'm just reiterating it. Swati has also told that as per the time limit which has been prescribed by the rule. So Rule 47A is the rule which prescribes the time limit, and that is a 30 days time limit. So I hope that clarifies your doubt, Astha. And in fact, we'll be starting with the case scenarios and MCQs of MTP1 now. So as you all were doing earlier also, you have to provide the answers to the scenarios so that you can understand the provision in a better manner. So in case you have any other doubt also, you can ask us. So let us start with the scenario. Now the basic way of doing the scenario, you all know that you have to go through the scenario, then questions, and then again you have to go to the scenario to find out the relevant information, as well as after applying the relevant provision, you have to find out the correct option. So let us read the case scenario, and then we'll see the respective questions also, related questions also. Anybody has any doubt, you can ask based on the same. Astha is saying, if supplier is registered in case of RCM, then who will issue the tax invoice? Astha, if your supplier is registered In case of reverse charge mechanism, then a supplier only has to issue the invoice. In that case, supplier will issue the invoice, and then you will be determining the time of supply as per section 13.2. In fact, 13.3 has been incorporated to deal with only that situation where recipient is required to issue the invoice. Okay. And before I start further, let me tell you that I am CA Shefali Jain, and I am also a faculty for Indirect Tax Laws at Board of Studies. My colleague CA Swati Agrawal was taking the session earlier. Okay. Okay. Just a minute.
आपके थाई मसल्स को कॉन्ट्रैक्ट करने की कोशिश कीजिए.
Okay. So let us start with the question. I hope we can start with the case scenario now. Asa, your doubt is clear, I suppose. Okay, you have Asa, I hope your doubt is now clear. You can send me in the chat box that yes, you are okay with this reply, or you have understood the reply. Let us, in the meantime, we'll start with the case scenario. Now, Messrs. Rajnath and Company, a registered supplier under GST, is dealing in supply of taxable goods in the state of Karnataka. Okay, so this much we have got, that our taxpayer or supplier is a registered supplier in the state of Karnataka. He is registered in the state of Karnataka. The firm had opted for composition scheme from April month of last financial year. So in the last financial year, complete last financial year, they had opted for composition scheme. And in the current financial year also, this is apparent that he must have opted for composition scheme, because it is mentioned in the question, its turnover crossed 1.5 crores on 9th May of current financial year and had opted for withdrawal of composition scheme on set date. Good, Astha, you have understood the provision. In fact, so now in this case scenario, please be with me and keep answering the questions which I will be asking you. So first of all, he has said that last year he had opted for composition scheme. That means in the previous financial year, his turnover would not have crossed 1.5 crores or 150 lakhs. But in the current financial year, his turnover has crossed 150 lakhs or 1.5 crores on 9th May itself. Okay. So now he had no option. In fact, he had to withdraw from the composition scheme. So on 9th May, when his turnover exceeded 1.5 crores, he withdrew from the composition scheme. And he switched into a normal scheme of paying the tax, or regular scheme of paying the tax. That is section 9. Section 9 deals with the regular scheme or normal scheme of taxation under GST regime. And section 10 deals with the composition scheme. Though we generally, I'm just telling you sections for your reference purpose only, but we generally don't suggest these students to go too much into sections, rules, notification, circulars. This is also an advice for your examination, that don't go too much into sections, rules, remembering them or memorizing these sections, rules, because this is a very, very common query of the students, and they feel that memorizing sections or quoting sections will fetch them more marks. So that is not the case, though it gives an edge to your answer, that if you write the sections, rules, notification numbers or circular numbers, but don't misquote them in the first place and try to first focus on the provisions. As an intermediate student, we suggest you to focus on provision. So he has come out of section 10 on 9th of May. Now let us see since I want to cover all the MCQs and we are short of time, it will take more of time. So let me straight away come to the related question. Otherwise, I would have read the entire case scenario and then I would have read the questions. But I want to cover the questions which are there in the scenario. So the first question, which is related to this particular question, this particular information, is Rajnath and Company needs to furnish. Now, you know the situation, or you know the information which we have just seen. Rajnath and Company is a registered supplier in the state of Karnataka. Last year, it had opted for composition scheme. This year also, it had opted for composition scheme, but on 9th May, its turnover exceeded 1.5 crores. You know that a composition dealer, if you have to be eligible for composition scheme, your last year's turnover should be 1.5 crores, and this year you can opt or you can continue in composition scheme only till the time your turnover is 1.5 crores. The moment it crosses 1.5 crores, you have to come out of composition scheme and you have to opt or switch to the normal scheme. So on 9th May, its turnover exceeded 1.5 crores and it switched to the normal scheme. So but it is not asking you that when it switched to normal scheme or when it had to switch as per the provision. It is asking you, Rajnath and Company needs to furnish a statement containing the details of stock of inputs, stock of inputs or inputs held in semi-finished or finished goods on the withdrawal of composition scheme by which date. 4 dates are provided to you: 9th May, 23rd May, 8th June, and 7th July. So, a quick answer from all the students who are there with us. That will help you in retaining the concept also. Even if you are wrong, you can give the answer. But tell me, by what time the statement needs to be furnished? Let me once again go to the provisions. You just go through the statement and then I will once again go to the provision, to the information given in the question. So we need to know the date by which Rajnath and company needs to furnish a statement containing the details of stock. So that is for sure that once we are switching from composition to normal scheme or regular scheme of taxation, the taxpayer has to pay, or the registered person has to pay, has to furnish a statement containing the details of its stock. So whether that is stock of finished goods, inputs, or inputs held in semi-finished goods. On the he has to furnish a statement containing the stock of inputs or inputs held in semi-finished or finished goods. So whatever stock of inputs is used which is not yet into the production, or some input which has already been into semi-finished goods or has been held in your finished goods, that stock you have to give on the withdrawal of composition scheme. Now, by what date this particular statement has to be furnished? Any idea, Astha? Khushi? Actually, this question requires the application of two provisions. So first of all, you should know that yes, such kind of a statement is required, and you should know that he can take the stock, he can take the ITC of the, just a minute, is my screen visible to you all? Okay. So in case, first of all, you should know that he can take the ITC of the stock of inputs which is available with him, up on which date that ITC is available, and by what time the statement for taking that ITC has to be furnished. These are two steps, but you have been asked the second leg of the question. So Astha or Khushi, any answers from you? Okay, Astha is saying 8th June. Khushi, any answers from you? At least you have 4 options here, so you can think of something and you can tell me the answer. Then I will explain you the detailed provision also to tell you the correct answer. But at least if you can share something with me based on your understanding of this particular provision. Aditi is also there. Aditi, if you have any idea about the answer, you can write in the chat box. Okay, let's see the correct answer and I will tell whether Astha's answer is correct or not. So let us go to the provision first. So let us see the provision of section 18. Section 18 provides that subject to such conditions as may be prescribed. Now we'll see what these conditions are. Where any registered person ceases to pay tax under section 10, he shall be entitled to take credit of. Now I said that composition scheme is available under section 10. Now where a registered person ceases to pay tax under composition scheme, he shall be entitled to take ITC in respect of inputs held in stock, inputs contained in semi-finished goods, inputs contained in finished goods held in stock, and on capital goods on the day. Immediately, so whatever finished goods are held in stock or capital goods are there on the day immediately preceding the date on which he becomes liable to pay tax under section 10. So in our question, at least first of all, we have to see that on which date he becomes entitled to take the credit, or up to which date ITC can be taken. So here we have seen that 9th May he became he shifted to the normal scheme. So day before, because the provision mentions that the date on which he becomes liable, the day immediately preceding the date on which he becomes liable to pay tax under Section 9. That means he can take ITC till 8th of May. Whatever credit is available in respect of the inputs held in stock or semi-finished or finished goods, that will be available till 8th of May. Now we come to the statement containing the stock of inputs. Now for this we have to furnish a statement. Now up to which date this statement needs to be furnished. These provisions are contained in Rule 40. Okay. So Rule 40 provides that the registered person shall, within 30 days from the date of becoming eligible to avail ITC under Section 18(1), or within such extended time that is not relevant to you, has to furnish the form GST ITC 01, or he has to give a declaration in this form, so to the effect that he is eligible to avail the ITC. So first of all, we had to see that whether he was eligible to avail ITC. Yes, day preceding the day on which he became liable to pay tax under normal scheme, that is 8th of May, because on 9th May he shifted to the normal scheme. So day before that is 8th May. So on 8th May, now 9th May he switched to normal scheme. So till 8th of May, whatever stock was there, he could take ITC on that stock. And the statement which we have been asked to furnish had to be furnished within 1 month of 8th of May. So from 8th of May, 1 month will be 8th of June. That is option C. So Astha's answer is absolutely correct. Good, Astha, you understood this provision. And this is very important provision. So you could not straight away come to that. First of all, you have to see Section 18. Section 18(1)(c) provides you that yes, the ITC can be taken on the stock which is existing day before you opted for normal scheme. Now for this purpose, you have to furnish a statement. That statement which this question requires you, the last date by which you have to furnish that statement, that is 1 month or 30 days, not 1 month. 1 month is a entirely different thing. 30 days from the date of furnishing this statement, from the date on which you became eligible. Let us see, it is 30 days or 1 month. Let me check. 30 days. 30 days from the date of becoming eligible to avail ITC. So that will be 8th of June. Now let us see the answer here also. I don't want you to see other answers, so let's not go to the answers now. Second is in respect of goods sent on sale or return. Now we'll see the rest of the scenario, because the information which was required to answer this question we had already seen. Now we move further in the scenario. So Rajnath and company removed the goods on 10. Now this first information was regarding composition scheme. Now some other information is given to you during the year, what transactions Rajnath and company had undertaken. The next information is that Rajnath and company had removed the goods on 10th of June for delivery to Chandra and company on sale or return basis. Now, what is sale or return basis? We'll discuss. Chandra and company accepted the goods via its confirmation mail dated 15th September. Now, with this piece of information, we have a complete question, and let us see what this question requires us to answer. In respect of the goods sent on sale or return basis, Rajnath and company shall issue the invoice by which of the following dates? Either it's 10th June or 10th September, 10th December or 15th December. Let us once again see the information which is required. So on 10th June, it had removed the goods for delivery to Chandra and company on sale or return basis. And on 15th of December, Chandra and company provided the information that yes, your sale has been fructified, or we accept the goods and we have, now it is considered as sale. So what would be the date on which you can say Rajnath and company has to issue the invoice, or the last date on which Rajnath and company should issue the invoice? Astha has given the answer. Now Krushi, Venugopal, any answers from you? Astha, your earlier answer was correct. Let us see this answer also. Okay. So let us see what is the actual provision behind this point. So in case of the goods sent on sale or return basis, let us see the provision which is there of section 31. Section 31, subsection 6 provides that, subsection 7 provides that notwithstanding anything contained in subsection 1, where the goods being sent or taken on approval for sale or return are removed before the supply takes place. Now, supply takes place means when the buyer has agreed that yes, I would be buying your goods, or sale has actually fructified. So that is 15th December in our case. On 15th December, the buyer, that is Chandra and Company, it said that okay, we have accepted your goods and now we are purchasing them. But your goods have been removed way before that. So you removed the goods on 10th of June. On 15th of December, after a very long period, your buyer said that I have accepted your goods. So supply took place on 15th of December. The invoice shall be issued before or at the time of supply or 6 months from the date of removal, whichever is earlier. That means either at the time of supply. Supply took place on 15th of December or 6 months from the date of removal. So you removed the goods on 10th of June. The goods were removed on 10th of June. So 6 months from 10th of June will be 10th of December. Because what you will do, you will start calculating July, August, September, October, November, December. So 10th of December, your 6 months period will lapse. And that is what the provision says, that 6 months from the date of removal, that is 10th December, last date on which the invoice should be issued as per the provisions of section 31 will be 10th of December. Understood? Okay. Kushi, have you given the answer, this answer for this particular question, or is it for the previous question? I'm not able to understand. You can let me know. Okay. So this question, I hope now it is clear to you that the last date on which the invoice can be issued is 10th of December, 6 months from the date of removal of the goods. Now the next information which is given to you. The firm has paid GST for various items during the month of August. Okay. It is comprised of the following. GST paid on input services intended to be used for personal purposes is 12,000 rupees. GST paid on rupees and GST paid on purchase of computer 19,000. Now regarding this purchase of computer, we have one more information which is given to you. That is GST portion of this purchase was included as part of cost to claim depreciation under Income Tax Act 1961. Now this comes here, the ITC provisions have come into play. Regarding ITC, one more information is given to you. That is, so this is the information which is provided for the month of August. During May, Rajnath and Company had reversed ITC of 10,000 for not making payment to vendors within the prescribed time under CGST Act 2017. This pending payment was cleared in the month of August. So in May, it had reversed the that ITC was reversed in the month of May because it could not make the payment to its suppliers within the prescribed time. Now, can you tell me what is the prescribed time within which the recipient has to make payment to its supplier for after availing ITC? So because we can avail ITC on provisional basis as soon as we receive the goods in our premises, but the payment to the supplier can be made after some time. Now, what is that period within which you have to make payment to your supplier? Yes, okay, Kushi, that was the answer to earlier questions. Now you have answered it correctly. Astha, what is the correct answer? What is the time limit? Any answers to the time limit within which the supplier has to receive the payment or recipient has to make payment to the supplier? Now, there it is provided that in time, and that is what the question also provides, that since the Rajnath and Company has not reversed the ITC, has not made the payment to the supplier, it had to reverse the ITC. Now, within the time prescribed under CGST, why this time is not provided to you? Yes, Astha, absolutely right. So let me tell the answer now, that is 180 days. So within 180 days, you have to make the payment to your supplier. As a recipient, you can avail credit only after that. And this answers actually, this provides answer to two questions of this particular scenario. We'll take the next scenario, next question also, because, but this is an important provision at the ITC has to be reversed in case you have not made payment to your supplier within 180 days. Again, re-avail the ITC. You can re-avail the ITC in the month when you make the payment to the supplier. So when if till 180 days you have not made the payment, you have to reverse the ITC. Now, after making the payment, suppose after 180 days, after 200 days you make the payment. So when you make the payment in that very month, you can take the credit. You can re-avail the credit. Okay, that is the provision. So now here the payment is again payment has been made in the month of August. So can we say that he can re-avail the credit in the month of August? Yes, we can say. So I have given you enough hint for the question which we are going to ask. You just go through this information again so that you can answer that how much credit Rajnath and company can take in the month of August or for the month of August. First is on input services to be used for personal purposes, purchase of motor vehicle, which is a two-wheeler having engine capacity of 25 cc, and GST paid on purchase of computer, that is 19,000. Any answer for that? Let me take you to the question also so that you can see the options. Determine the amount of eligible ITC that can be availed by Rajnath and company for the month of August. It is nil, 19,000, 22,000 and 50,000. So 180 days time limit has been correctly stipulated in the month of August. Any answers from any of you? Venugopal? Correct answer to question number 3. Let me take you to the information again and please provide me the answers. See, if you provide the answer, you will, yes, Astha, your answer is correct. Any answers from Venugopal or Kushi? At least make a try. This will help you in understanding the provision in a better manner. So at least you can make a try. Okay, so let's move to the provision first and then let us understand the concept. So there are 3 types of inward supplies which have been made by Rajnath and company in the month of August. These are input services which have been used for the personal purposes. Now section 16 provides that every registered person can avail the ITC on the inward supplies only if these inward supplies are used for in course or furtherance of business, are used or intended to be used for the are intended to be used in course or furtherance of business. So when I say input services will be used for personal purposes, definitely this 12,000 rupees cannot be availed as credit. I think that is for sure that the credit cannot be availed on the 12,000 because these input services are being used for the personal purposes. So credit is not available. Okay, I've got some answer from Kushi. Kushi, your answer is also correct. Very happy to see that you have understood the concept. Venugopal, let me see, you have marked the option. So let me see whether that option is correct. Very good. Very good. So happy to see that all 3 of you have answered it correctly, Astha, Kushi and Venugopal. And let us see for others, for the benefit of other students, how this answer has been arrived at. So let us go one by one on each of the items and then we'll arrive at the answer. So 12,000 is not available. The credit of 12,000 input services on which GST of rupees 12,000 has been paid is not available to you. GST paid on purchase of motor vehicle for business use. Now you know that as per section 17(5), the motor vehicles on motor vehicles used for transportation of passengers with a seating capacity up to 13 persons, including driver. So that means 12 persons plus one driver. If that is the seating capacity of a motor vehicle, then credit on the same is blocked as per Section 17(5) of CGST Act. And in fact, there are some exceptions to that provision also. That is if you are using it for making outward supply of such motor vehicles, or you're using it for motor driving, or you're using it for making the outward supply of transportation of passengers. Very good. Section 17(5) is for blocked credit, Venu. And okay, so you have provided me the correct answer. So motor vehicle credit is blocked. But in case, now you know the now I told you that motor vehicle till the capacity of 13 persons is blocked. But the vehicle should come in, motor vehicle should actually come in the definition of the motor vehicle as per the Motor Vehicles Act. And the definition of motor vehicle as per Motor Vehicles Act 1988, it provides that it excludes any vehicle which has less than 4 wheels. So a two-wheeler has 2 wheels, first of all. Second, the engine capacity is this vehicle which has less than 2 wheels. So it can be a 3-wheeler or it can be a 2-wheeler vehicle. One wheel cannot be there. A vehicle cannot be there with 1 wheel, but 2-wheel and 3 wheels vehicle can be there. And that has to have the engine capacity up to 25 cc, up to 25 cubic centimeters. So that is there. We have purchased a 2-wheeler which has an engine capacity of 25 cc. So therefore, this motor vehicle is not, this 2-wheeler with engine capacity of 25 cc is not there in the definition, or is excluded from the definition of the motor vehicle. Now, blocked credit or the restriction of credit is pertaining to motor vehicles. But in case your vehicle or conveyance does not fall in the definition of motor vehicle, that restriction does not apply to it. So therefore, this 2-wheeler with engine capacity of 25 cc is not a motor vehicle per se, and therefore credit on the same is not blocked as per Section 17(5). Let's have a look at Section 17(5) quickly so that we can get an idea that yes, notwithstanding anything contained in subsection 1 of Section 16 and subsection 1 of Section 18, ITC shall not be available in respect of motor vehicles for transportation of passengers having approved sitting capacity of not more than 13 persons, including the driver. So up to 13 persons capacity should be there, and that should include driver, except when they are used for making the following supplies: further supply of such motor vehicles, transportation of passengers, and imparting training on driving of such motor vehicles. Others are vessels and aircraft. That is not our case. GST on purchase of computers. Now, GST on purchase of computers is not blocked as per Section 17(5). 17(5) nowhere provides you that you cannot take credit on the computers, but it provides that in case you have taken the depreciation, you have claimed depreciation, in case you have claimed depreciation on any capital goods, so under the Income Tax Act, now you have claimed depreciation on the GST portion. Had you taken the depreciation on the main value of the capital good, then that would have not been a problem. But on the GST component, if you have claimed the depreciation under the Income Tax Act, you cannot claim the benefit of ITC under the CGST Act, because you cannot take dual benefit on the same amount. So that GST portion, since it has been explicitly mentioned, the GST portion was included as part of cost to claim the depreciation under Income Tax Act. So ITC on 19,000 will also not be allowed. So I hope that is clear to you. Yes, Venugopal, you are saying 1820. If depreciation taken on IT, yes, you are right. So if depreciation has been taken on capital goods, then ITC cannot be claimed. Or otherwise, if you are taking ITC on the same, then you cannot claim the depreciation. So this is also not available. ITC on 19,000 is also not available. Till now, we have only got the amount of 9,000. Plus the information for the month of August, which is provided to you, because the subsequent information is for the month of September. So we are not yet checking it. For the month of August, they have provided us the information that the ITC of 10,000, which was reversed earlier, it had to be, that payment was cleared in the month of August. So that means this 10,000 ITC of 10,000 can be re-availed in the month of August. And that makes the total credit eligible in the month of August as 10,000 plus 9,000, that is 19,000. And the correct option is. So I hope this provision is clear to others also. Let us move to the next question. Here we have to compute the ITC to be reversed in the month of September. Exactly opposite question, but pertaining to ITC only and pertaining to the provision which we have just discussed. So that will, so in fact, not a hint. In fact, that provision I have told, now it will be very easy for you to understand that question or answer to that particular question. Let us see the relevant information. We have to find out the ITC to be reversed in the month of September, and the information which is provided to us belongs in this is some line somewhere here. Okay, out of the purchases made an ITC availed during the earlier months, following information is made available as on September. So supplier is XYZ, ABC, and PQR. These are my suppliers, and payment was due in the month of September. The due date, the payment was due for this much number of days. So if I say XYZ, I had to pay XYZ, the supplier XYZ, an amount of 13,000. Sorry, GST amount of 13,000, not the entire consideration, GST amount, because this is the related ITC component. So I have to pay a GST amount of 13,000 to XYZ limit, XYZ, whatever supplier is there, XYZ. And it had become overdue by 145 days in the month of September. By the end of September, I could say that it was overdue for 145 days. Similarly, ABC, 15,000 amount has to be paid, or 15,000 amount of GST had to be paid, which was overdue for 199 days. PQR, the overdue days, the amount of 20,000 was overdue for 99 days. So how much credit had to be reversed for the month of September? How much credit had to be reversed? Let us once again go to the question. Compute the amount of ITC to be reversed for the month of September. We had just discussed the provision within the time within which we have to make payment to our supplier, because we must have taken the ITC at the time when we would have received the goods or services. In the month when we had received the goods or services, we would have taken the ITC. Now there is a stipulated time within which you have to make the payment to the supplier. Now let us see this table once again, and you have to determine the answer. Astha, your answer is absolutely correct. Let us see other two if they can answer this question, because so Khushi and Venugopal. Yes, I have got one answer from Khushi. Yes, Khushi, your answer is also correct. Venugopal, what is your answer? Has to receive the payment, or you can say the recipient has to make the payment within how much time to the supplier? Okay. So let us see what would be the answer. So we know that the supplier has to, recipient has to make payment to supplier within 180 days. And therefore, these two payments, payment to XYZ and PQR, though they have been overdue, but for more than 100 days, or you can say almost 100 days, but that does not matter to us. What we have to see is the payment which is due for more than 180 days. And that is the only payment of ABC. That is for 199 days, it is due. And therefore, we have to reverse the ITC of rupees 15,000 only. 13,000 we still have time, 20,000 we still have time to make the payment to the supplier. So the correct answer is option C, that is 15,000. So I hope this question is clear to you all. Now we come to the time of supply in respect of the services imported by Rajnath and company from its associated enterprise. Let us see what is that transaction so you can find out the exact time of supply. Rajnath and company received accounting services from Prabhu and company, an associated enterprise located in Sri Lanka. Prabhu and company issued invoice for the service on 1st September, which was entered by Rajnath and company in its books of accounts on 10th October, but payment was prices of Rajnath and company Prabhu and Company is located outside India, that is in Sri Lanka. And it has, so 3 events are given to you. One is date of issue of invoice by Prabhu and Company, 1st of September, date on which transaction is recorded in the books of accounts of the recipient or Rajnath and Company, that is 10th of October. So this is a clear case of reverse charge mechanism that all of you would have identified. And the third event which is given to you is the date of payment. Date of payment which is made by Rajnath and Company. It was made on 30th September. So these 3 dates are given to you. You have to find out the time of supply of this particular transaction. Let's see if Asta has given the answer, or Khushi or Venugopal. Okay. So let us see the provision. I hope I'm expecting to receive the answer for this particular question. Asta, any answers from you? Okay. Yes, Asta, your answer is correct. Good, Asta. You have given the correct answer. So let us see what is the correct provision. I hope that will help you in understanding the concept also. So this is a new concept you will understand. That in case of time of supply, in case of the reverse charge mechanism, as per section 13, 13.2, I suppose 13.3. 13.3 is there. Yes. So as per section 13.3, the reverse says that date of payment or 61st day from the date of issuance of invoice by the supplier or date of issuance of invoice by the recipient. That case you all of you know, because I have received as the queries also which students are asking regarding the time of supply in case of reverse charge mechanism. So in case supplier is issuing the payment, it is 61st day from the date of issuance of invoice. If recipient is issuing the invoice, then the date of issuance of invoice, that would be the, or date of payment, whichever is earlier, is the time of supply. But in case of the receipt of services from the associated enterprises, then what would be the time of supply? So let us see the time of supply in the case when the associated enterprises has provided services to its concern located in India. Now, in that case, the time of supply is not determined by main section. It is determined by the proviso to section 13.3, which provides that the time of supply in case of services received from an associated enterprises outside India is the date of payment or date of entry in the books of accounts of the recipient, whichever is earlier. Now here, the date of entry in the books of accounts of the recipient is 10th of October and the date of payment is 30th September. September. So Astha, your answer is correct. And I hope all of you have understood this concept or this particular provision. Okay. So we can move forward now. Let us see these 5 questions which pertain to this particular scenario have already been over, and we have 2 more questions. So this is there. Here you can see that there were 5 questions, each carrying 2 marks based on this information given in the scenario. Now 2 small scenarios are given to you. First one is L&T Limited generated e-way bill on 12th of February at 1400 hours. Now see the date. It's 100 kilometer. Okay. The validity period of e-way bill will expire on dash if there is no extension of the same. So these are the 4 time limits which are provided to you. Question is there on your screen. You can see that midnight of 13 to 14th February, midnight of 17th to 18th February, at 1400 hours of 13th February, at 1400 hours of 14th February. So till what time your e-way bill will be valid, which you have generated on 12th of February at 1400 hours. Asta, Khushi, Venugopal, please provide me the answer. Yes, Asta, if you have the answer, please let us know. In fact, Khushi, I can see that is participating. Venugopal is also participating. That is not an issue. And I'm happy to see that all of you are participating in our discussion. That will definitely help you in and general points also. Okay. So, because if you answer a particular okay. So I've got one answer from Venugopal, one answer from Khushi. One point which all of you have missed, let me tell you that point again, that it is an over-dimensional cargo. Okay. It is an over-dimensional cargo. So in case of over-dimensional cargo, let us see what answer Astha has provided. Okay. Yes, Astha, your answer is absolutely correct. Over-dimensional cargo. Now this is an over-dimensional cargo. That means the validity of e-way bill in case of over-dimensional cargo is bit longer because that cargo takes a lot of time to move from one place to another place, and that is why the validity is 20 kilometers. So 20 kilometers it is allowed to travel per day, 20 kilometers for one day. Now here it is 100 kilometers. So 20 into 5 days are allowed from 12th of February. That makes option B as correct. So Astha's answer is sorry, Mir Sehaj Singh. Okay. So some new entries there. Mir Sehaj Singh. He has given us the correct answer because on the other portal Astha was answering. So in fact, I hope that you all knew the correct answer, but you got confused with the over-dimensional cargo and the normal case situation. So in case of an over-dimensional cargo, the per day limit is 20 kilometers. So the e-way bill is valid. So you can travel. You need to travel only 20 kilometers per day. That makes it 5 days. Validity period as 5 days, and the correct answer will be midnight of 17th to 18th February. Okay. Now the next question is, Mr. Naresh, a supplier of ready-made garments, issued an invoice to a customer. Just a minute. Okay, Mir Sahaj, you have come in Zoom only. That is good because here you can give, you can directly connect and you can ask your queries also in a better manner. In fact, others also, we always suggest that in success at CA exams, you should come in the Zoom link only. You will be able to ask the questions in a better manner or connect with us in a better manner. Mr. Naresh, a supplier of ready-made garments, issued an invoice to a customer and erroneously charged a higher value. Now, very, very simple case. I think you all should answer this. That 42,000 higher value. That means suppose value was 1 lakh rupees. So he has charged 1,42,000. So he has charged extra amount from his customer in the invoice which he has issued. And that extra amount is 42,000. Now, what resolution, what option he has? Such an invoice was issued on 28th of October. Which document is required to be issued by the company in respect of the invoice issued on 28th October? One is debit note, second is credit note, or bill of supply, or revised tax invoice. So I have got an answer from Khushi. Absolutely correct answer, Khushi. Vinu, you got it, but their treatment is different. So, okay, Sachin also has joined the Zoom. So Sachin, you can also answer this particular question if you know the answer. I'm waiting for your answers, students, for this particular question. Okay, we have one more MCQ, so we'll quickly take that also. So here we are saying he has charged an extra value of rupees 42,000. So how can he, what is the exact or what is the document which he should issue to take this into account? Very good, Astha. Absolutely correct answer. The correct answer is credit note. So in case you have undervalued your goods, then you have to issue the debit note. But here you have overvalued the goods, or you have mentioned extra value in your invoice. So in order to take into account, you have to issue a credit note to your recipient. Supplier has to issue a credit note. Next question is, truth is God a religious trust under section 12AA? Provide services by way of renting of premises within the precincts of a religious place. Renting of premises within the precincts of a religious place. So a religious place is there, and there you are renting some premises. It's premises for some purpose. So they will be exempt up to which amount? 999 rupees per day, 1000 per day, 9999 or 10,000 per day. Out of these four amounts, it's a simple case. Limits. Yes, Astha, your answer is again correct. I have got some more answers here. Venugopal. See, the amount which you have mentioned, the second one, that will make it taxable. Now we are saying up to which limit it would be exempt. Khushi, you are right. That is the correct answer. Venugopal, give me the correct answer again. Sachin, Mir Sahaj. So any answers from others? That what would be the amount where it will be exempt from GST? What is the rent amount which it can receive, or the value for which it can rent its premises and still remain exempt from GST? No, Venugopal. So I will tell you that how can you, for any correlation to establish between them, something which you can, if you have some intention behind a particular logic behind a provision, then you can find it easy, you can understand it easily, or some acronym, some mnemonics. So for these type of limits, what you can do is you can put such type of limits on your study table on a paper. You write them, all the due dates, rates of taxes, late fees, penalties, and these kind of threshold limits. You should write it on a piece of paper and keep it on your study table. And every time you start study on a day, every day when you start your studies, you should just have a glance at them. This repetitive or repetition of these provisions or these dates, limits, rates will help you in retaining them or memorizing them. So actually that limit is 9,999, that up to 9,999, if you are renting your premises within the presence of a religious place, they are exempt. Moment it goes 10,000 or more, then it becomes taxable. So I hope that clears the provision. In case of the, yes, Astha is asking. Yes, Astha, the time limit is same for nil also. That is not a separate time limit. I wanted to tell you there is some regarding the answer to question number 1. We need to reconsider it. So because actually when you are you have to file the statement for furnishing the statement which you have to furnish for availing the ITC on the stock which is available day before the person becomes eligible to file the return. The person becomes eligible for the normal scheme of taxation, or when he enters the normal scheme. So on the day preceding that is the day till that day he has to take the credit, or till that day he can take the credit, or that day he becomes eligible for. From that day he becomes eligible for claiming the credit. So if in case any doubt is there, we'll let you know. If any change in answer in first question is there, we'll let you know by way of we'll suitably inform you about that. So let us first consider that again. And certain if anybody has any doubt regarding your examination forthcoming September 2025 examination, please you can ask the query here, because this is the session before the examination. B2C now it is, Asa, I think you are asking, IFF you are asking, now it is 1 lakh for your attempt. So any more queries from anyone regarding anything you want to ask about preparation, anything you want to ask in this paper, any other question you want to ask, you can ask that doubt. So Venugopal, Astha, Khushi, Sachin, Mir Sahaj, any doubts? So I hope all your doubts are cleared and you are all prepared for the forthcoming examination. So today we are on 13th of August and you have almost 20 days for your examination. You still have time. Go for your examination with full dedication and full preparation. We'll definitely crack it. And I can only wish you all the best for the forthcoming examination. Come out with the flying colors after the exam and give your 100% in the examination. So all the best. And with this, we come to an end of this session. Okay, thank you, Astha. Your doubts are clear. Okay. So we can end, just a minute. Let me see, some doubt is there. Okay. So Venugopal also don't have any doubt. He has affirmed. Now we come to an end of this session. Okay, we can end the session now. Sanket. We can end the session. Okay, thank you so much.